We are ready to talk about the questions on Review and Preview 2.2.2. On the first question with number 34, it shows you a tile pattern, and it says specifically that each square on the tile pattern represents 1 square foot. So based on that, part A is asking you what's the total area of the shaded squares. So give me a number and give me a label that represents its area. For part B, what is the total area of the unshaded squares? Give me a value, give me a label that's appropriate here for part B. Part C then asks you to find the total number of square feet of area in the figure in 2 different ways. So first of all, they're asking you for the area of this whole thing together right here. And we can see that the dimensions of the whole thing are 7 feet by 7 feet. So if you think about it in that sense, one of those ways should probably involve multiplication. And then the other way that you're asked to come up with, you could potentially use a different operation that involves your answers to A and B to come up with that answer. Again, it should be the same answer for both sections there on part C, but I need to see it happening in 2 different ways. Question 35 says Hector measured the area of his desktop by covering it with quarters. Can he find area using these circular units of measure exactly, or will he have to estimate? So if he's going to cover the top of his desk with quarters, is he going to know the exact area, or will it have to be an estimate? So for question 35, will he find it exactly? You're going to say yes or no by circling your answer on your answer sheet. And based on your yes or no, tell me why that was your decision. What is it that's going to allow him to come up with an exact answer? Or why will he have to estimate and not find an exact? So support that decision you're making there. In question 36, it says to use the numbers 2, 3, and 4. Those are the only ones you're allowed to use. And the operations, which could be addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. And your job is to create 3 different numerical expressions that have 3 different values. And they are specifically asking for one of those to have a value of 14. That's why on your answer sheet for this question, you'll see that the first spot here where I have expression 1, this is the one that I want to be equal to 14. So you can use 2, 3, and 4 in any order. You can use whatever operations you want. You can only use 1, 2, 1, 3, and 1, 4, but as many operations as you'd like. This first one here has to equal 14. The other 2 can equal anything else as long as they're not 14, and as long as 2 and 3 have values that are different from each other. For question 37, they show us some data values here. These are daily high temperatures for Honolulu, Hawaii in December of 2009. And it's asking you what is the best way to display the data below and why. So for question 37, I'm not going to give it away here, but it's likely that we will have already talked about which of these is the best choice. You could potentially pick from, I don't know, a histogram. You could make a dot plot. You could make a bar graph. There are lots of different options, but we have probably talked about the one that would be the best choice. So that's what I'm looking to see on your answer sheet. Show me those different parts of that arrangement, that data display. I should be able to see the smallest. I should be able to see the largest. I want things lined up nice and neatly, and make sure there's a label underneath the horizontal part down here that tells me what are these numbers, what do they represent. Okay. On last one, question 38, find the missing number that makes each of the following number sentences true. So we've got 15 times a number. Remember that on part B, this would mean division. 90 divided by what number? Same for part D. What number divided by 11 gives you 13? If you still have your multiplication table that we used back in chapter 1, you're welcome to use this. Otherwise, some inverse operations could come in handy. Inverse would mean opposite. So if I see multiplication, I can undo that with division and vice versa.